Good news. Great marketing ideas do grow on trees.
Psst, are you up there?
If you want to watch your tiny, sprouting tree service turn into a tower of marketing prowess, it is possible.
Someday, you're going to grow up to be big and strong, I promise.
And if you want to watch your withered, shriveled tree service marketing bud forth into life and turn into something impressive, there's hope.
I just think you need to live up to your full potential. You're not making the healthiest decisions right now.
But enough of the bad tree puns. I'm here today to share 10 of the best tree service marketing ideas that I've used over the last 20 years. Stay tuned. Hey, what's up? It's Chad with Landscape Leadership. We've worked with dozens of mid-sized green industry companies, lawn care, landscaping, even tree services to help them grow their business. Over the past 20 years of my career in the green industry, I started off with lawns, but quickly fell in love with trees.
Are you a sugar maple? Because you look sweet.
I love learning all about trees, performing plant healthcare treatments, becoming an ISA certified arborist, selling millions of dollars of this work. But then came marketing tree services, a chore that was a lot more difficult than marketing lawn care and landscaping. Today, I'm going to share 10 of the best ideas for marketing tree services. There's also going to be a lot of other great tips that we just don't have time to cover, along with some of the big common mistakes in tree service marketing, so I'll have more info if you'd like to dig into this further. So here we go. Tree service marketing idea number 1. Build a great website. Now let me say this. There are a lot of bad websites in the green industries, and unfortunately, a lot of the offenders are in the tree service sector. If you want to dive into some resources that can help you take your website or build your very first website and make it a really great tree service website, check out some of the links below. Maybe you're a little bit skeptical and you're wondering, how can my website for my tree service really generate enough leads? I've talked to industry peers, or I just really doubt the fact that it can really perform. Well, case in point, I have a client that over the last year has generated over 800 leads through their website for tree services, plant healthcare, tree pruning, and tree removal. It can be done, but the trick is having not just an average website, but a great website, which leads me to idea number 2. Number 2 is this: create an awesome tree service blog on your website. Now, I'm not talking about the typical fluff or stuff that you're probably seeing out there on other tree service websites. I'm talking about a really informative blog that walks the line between giving too much information and also compelling your prospects into action. This shouldn't be content that's written for your industry peers. A lot of us, we love the technical knowledge, so we really want to dive into these topics on a really, really deep level. This is basically information to arm people that have questions with relevant answers and then compel them to reach out to you to continue the conversation. For more tips on creating a killer tree service blog that generates qualified leads year after year, look below for some more resources on that topic. Tree service marketing idea number 3 is utilizing email marketing. If you and your team has done a really great job over the years of collecting email addresses of prospects and customers, email marketing can be a good vehicle to generate more leads for your business. The trick is you have to do it right. A lot can go horribly wrong with email marketing. So again, I have another resource below if you want some tips on best practices for email marketing in the green industry. Number 4, paid advertisements. Now this one can be a little tricky because I've personally talked to a lot of tree services that have wasted a ton of money and time and have gotten very aggravated at the poor results that they've gotten from various lead generation websites and also advertising opportunities online. There are 2 keys to getting paid ads to work. The first is a sense of urgency. So your tree service might do a bunch of different things. In your prospect's mind, if they can delay making the decision on whatever it is that you're promoting, chances are it's probably not something good to do a paid advertisement on. But on the other hand, if it's storm damage cleanup or a pest, an invasive pest, like we have the spotted lanternfly up here in Pennsylvania where I'm from, that's something people want taken care of right away, and some Google ads or maybe even lead generation platforms like HomeAdvisor could work for you. But number 2 is measure results. If you want to participate in these lead generation platforms or place Google ads, you better be really good at measuring how many leads that come in, which one of those turn into proposals, and ultimately which one of those proposals actually sell and what the dollar amount is behind it. If you can't prove a great ROI, you might not want to mess around with this one. Okay, but what about off of your website? Well, there's a lot of really great tree service marketing ideas there too. Number 5, inbound links and online citations. Let me give you a couple examples that you should explore. First is this: if you belong to any organizations that are credible, like industry associations or local chambers of commerce, any of those types of organizations, they often will allow you to create a profile. And one of the things in your profile is a link that goes to your website. So make sure you fill in those fields and take advantage of them as much as possible. Now, online citations just basically means somewhere online mention your company by name. And it does help SEO. There's a variety of different ways that you can do this, but one of the things that I used to do is actually create really great relationships with news stations or local newspapers, so that when they need a source for an article or they need someone to interview for a news segment, they would call me and then I would appear. Now, a lot of times they won't give you a link because it's their company policy, but they might mention you by name, which is also very good for SEO or search engine optimization. Okay, so I kind of snuck that one in on you. It was online, but it wasn't on your website. So now let's talk about all these traditional ones, the things that are nothing to do about the internet. The first one is probably not a surprise. It's wrap your trucks. There's a big problem with this though. In my area and when I travel all around the country, I see tree services taking their vehicle graphics to one of two extremes. Either they hardly put anything on their vehicle and you can't even tell who it is when they drive by, or on the other extreme, they put so much junk on here that it just really loses its focus and its power. So I would encourage you to check out some resources below. You betcha I got some articles about wrapping trucks and some other tips to do this well. Number 7, you're probably going to be familiar with as well, and that's post yard signs. Now, depending which tree service you're promoting, you might go a different route with your yard signs. If you have plant healthcare technicians and they're doing 15 to 20 treatments in a day, you probably don't want to spend a lot of money to put a sign in each of those yards. Plus, if you're going there 6-7 times a year, that's probably pretty annoying to those clients. What I would recommend is to use the little yard stake signs that you put in the front yard after you're done with the treatment, but go as big as you can, because some of you are using these tiny little cards where you could really be capitalizing on like an 8.5 by 11 sign to put in the front yard. The neighbors will take notice. Now, in the case where you have tree service crews that are out, doing pruning and removal or things like that, you might want to go a little bit bigger because the cost for that job is probably more, and landing a job is probably worth more revenue. And so what you want to do is maybe use the 18 by 24 corrugated plastic yard signs and put them in the yard, especially if this is a location that a lot of people are going to see. Keep it simple. Whether you're doing the little yard signs for your PHC technicians or you're doing the big ones for your tree crews, name, contact information, and what you do is all you need on this. This is not a company brochure and it's not your website. Get some brand recognition and get them to contact you. Number 8, yellow page ads. Now, I almost left this one off the list and I hesitate to put it on there, but the point is this: in some areas of the country where you're in a rural area or there's an older population, some of these people are still using this. I can't believe it either. What you need to do is be really good at measuring where your leads are coming from. If you can record how many leads you get that people say, I saw your ad in the yellow pages, and those leads are actually going to proposal and they're actually selling and turning into revenue that's profitable, you might still want to play in the yellow pages. Be careful. These salespeople are really good with getting you to upgrade to those full page ads and really spend tens of thousands of dollars if you would. And so know how to determine whether you're getting a good ROI on that type of tree service marketing idea. Number 9 is this: create a formal customer referral program. Now, a lot of you boast that you get tons of work from word of mouth, but do you have a formal program to promote this and pay or incentivize your customers? Think about this. If they're reminded on a regular basis that you pay for referrals if they become a sold job, will they be more apt to do this? And when they do this and you send them $50 or something in the mail, like a Visa gift card, will that build trust and make it a little bit more conscious in their mind? The thing is this: you have to be deliberate about this and you have to follow through consistently. You have to produce literature, put things on your website. All of those things will help build a really strong customer referral program that can generate $250,000 or $500,000 of business in a given year, depending upon your size of company. You got it. I got a resource below on how to formalize a customer referral process that really works. All right, number 10, our last tree service marketing idea is an internal lead program. Just like we just talked about your customers referring work to you, you also have a bigger sales team than you probably think. Everyone at your company is responsible for marketing. If they see a neighbor out on a property, if they have a friend or a neighbor themselves where they live that needs your services, can you incentivize your team to generate interest? I'm not talking about getting them to sell your services, because let's face it, people that climb trees often don't want to have these kinds of conversations with their friends and customers. But if they can generate a conversation to start and your sales team can follow up on this and they get an opportunity to just give them a proposal, they legitimately want it, why not pay them a little bit of money, $5, $10, $15? If you start doing this, you'll be surprised. About 20% of your workforce could be very engaged in this. Again, the tip is make sure you promote it regularly with your team, make a big deal about who's making the money of doing this, and you'll see some competition that's going to start going on that's going to generate a ton of leads for your business. So there you have it. There is 10 ideas to market your tree service company, taking it from something that isn't that impressive to something that is completely amazing.
You're such a big boy now. I can remember when you were this little.
I hope you've gotten some great ideas today. Remember to check out the links and resources below to dive into these topics just a little bit deeper. Here's to growing your tree service business. Thanks a lot. Have a really great day.